I'm Peter Shinn with Pro-Life Unity. I'm going to follow up on what Jenny was talking about earlier. Jenny is the National Director of Pro-Life Unity, and she was talking about issues involving legislation that can have the appearance of doing good, but as far as it goes with some of us in the community and the way we look at it, we just think that it's not exactly what we should be going for. I mean, if we oppose something, then we should say we oppose that. And she had reported something on Facebook, and for those of you not on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see it there. But the idea here is that when we support legislation that's not going exactly with what we're trying to do. For instance, abortion, just one topic, abortion. We want to end abortion. Well, okay, let's do a roundabout when we want to end abortion. Let's go after how children suffer in the womb when the fetuses, the embryos, how they suffer in the womb when they're being ripped to shreds. Let's go for the emotions of the mothers. Let's talk about, all of these various side items. We never really talk about what it is we're really talking about, and that's the killing of a human being. Just sticking to that, as if it's not good enough. I think a good example of this is when it comes to embryonic stem cell research. Embryonic stem cell research, you're killing a human being in order to do it. Now, Clinton the other day made a little mistake when he was talking about this, and he was saying that, before the embryos are fertilized, obviously he doesn't know that if you're saying embryo, you're talking about a fertilized human being. And he was the president of this United States. Imagine that, a president of America passing laws that had to do with killing human beings, and he doesn't even know that if you have an embryo, you're already talking about a person. It's someone, sperm and egg have already come together, it's a done deal, a person's been created. Embryonic stem cell research is a great example of what I'm talking about, because with that, we so often pursue the various nuances. We don't go straight for it. You look at people say that, wow, look at how many people have been saved using adult stem cell and cord blood, and how none of the people have been saved with embryonic stem cell research, and there's more promise with this, and there's less money spent on this, and there's this and this and this. It's like, no, killing human beings is wrong. Stick with it. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little passionate about this. No, I'm not. I am passionate about this. And I think that we should be passionate about this. And again, I can see why people might want to sort of do the flanking maneuvers in military terms, why they would want to just sort of go from the outside and not go straight for the win, because I think a lot of times we don't feel like we can win. So let's do everything possible other than going for the win. And we look at a great example is in vitro fertilization. This is something that has been brought up as a cure for those of us who can't have children. And it's not a cure. Look at what happens. Look at the Octomom is a great example. There's a woman who had 6 children through in vitro fertilization, and then she had another 8. People yelled at her and said, well, how dare she have another 8 children? Well, the reality is, and if you hadn't heard, what she wanted was to save the children who were in the lab. Because when she had the first 6, those were just the ones that were implanted, and I guarantee you the doctors went to her and said, hey, let's selectively reduce a number of those children so that the rest of them have a better life, a higher quality life, and a greater chance of success. And that's typical. That's what happens in these in vitro fertilization clinics. What they do is they inject a woman with a large number of eggs, and then the woman has a large number of children, and then they get rid of / kill the other children. And it's a process called selective reduction. Look it up. It's on the web. They use it as common as saying, that you're removing a wart or whatever. Well, the reality is that these places are killing human beings. And the Octomom, as an example, was saying, no, I'm not going to allow my other children to remain in frozen storage. I want to have those children. So she insisted that she be that she have those eggs put in her, and she didn't know how many were going to result in live births, but it turned out it was 8. And of course they were telling her, okay, well, you should selectively reduce a number of those children, and she said no, and she had all 8 of those children. So people condemn her and saying, oh my Lord, this woman had 14 children, that's way too many kids. Yeah, that's too many kids, and look where the process came from. This is something that is as common as you call them up and say, hi, I'd like to have children. Yes, come in right away. We just need a sample of sperm and a sample of eggs, and we'll create some children for you. Don't you think there's a little bit of a problem with that? Let's add to that all these other things, cloning. You might think that cloning is not legal. You look at the movie The Island and you think, ooh, that's scary. Wouldn't that be frightful if that happened in real life? It does happen in real life. Missouri passed a clone and kill bill 2 years ago. Who knows how many other states are already doing it? Embryonic stem cell research has been 100% legal in America. President Bush wasn't the one who signed it into legality. All he did was open a certain number of lines of already killed embryos, human beings, to use them for scientific research. But the actual process itself has been perfectly legal for years in this country. And of course, they have been already involved in embryonic stem cell research. And so, you've got embryonic stem cell research, you've got cloning, you've got abortion, you've got chimeras, the human animal hybrids. There's so many horrible things that are happening, and we're nipping at the little pieces all around, and we're saying, well, we better attack this from one little angle. Let's not go after abortion directly. Let's say that a baby feels pain in the womb, and therefore we'll pass a bill that says that babies shouldn't feel pain in the womb. I mean, come on, there's so many bills that are being passed. And for those of you who are going after these, I'm not condemning you. I'm not coming down on you. You may be angry at me for speaking out against all of these various types of bills, but I just believe we're not going for what we want. What do we want? We want to end abortion. What do we want? We want to stop cloning. We want to stop embryonic stem cell research. We want to stop the killing of human beings. Innocent human beings are being slaughtered by the thousands. And yes, some of you have said, oh, that's so depressing. And yeah, I had one person who dropped me as a friend on Facebook the other day because she said that my topics were too depressing and that she couldn't deal with them. Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, if you're low in your life and you get hit with something like this, wow, that's intense. People are being killed. But at the same time, don't you think that maybe their problems are a little bit more intense than our problems? Maybe we shouldn't do just a little bit more to end abortion in this country. So that's what I'm saying. Let's stop going for these side flanking maneuvers. Let's go directly for what it is. Let's end abortion. Let's end all of these other things. Let's do everything we can. We can do it. And I often ask everybody, does God want abortion to end? Does he? I think so. Yeah. So if God wants abortion to end, are we going to say God will end abortion when God ends abortion? Are we going to say, let's pray until God ends abortion? Or are we going to do what's necessary to end abortion? If you have somebody, if you're in a boat and somebody's in the water and they're drowning, do you put your hands together and say, dear God, please save that person from drowning? Or do you jump in the water and rescue that person? God expects a certain amount of responsibility from us. We need to be responsible to do what's necessary to save other human beings. Praying is great, and we've got the 40 Days for Life, 40daysforlife.com. Great effort, hundreds of thousands of people out there at the abortion mills praying, and sidewalk counseling, and doing what's necessary. Action, activism, power, we the people. Get out there. We can do it. We can end abortion and all these other things, these human killing research and everything else. Believe. We have to believe. So go to Pro-Life Unity, prolifeunity.com. Go to the monthly callforlife.com. Every month on the first Friday, we email, call our representatives, send them a letter, send them an envelope, whatever it is you want to do. Communicate with your representatives. You know, representative. They represent us. They're not our leaders. We've got to stop thinking of them as our leaders. Our presidents represent us. Our representatives in government, our senators and congressmen represent us. They work for us. We pay their salaries. Let's do what it takes and communicate with them and tell them, no, I don't support this. This is wrong. Abortion is wrong. I want it to end now. Let's speak our minds. Let's be activists. Let's be strong. Let's believe that we can do this. I know we can. And I know there are plenty of you out there who want to do this. So join us every month. On the first Friday, the monthly call for life, communicate with our representatives as we do, and let's let them know that they need to end abortion and human killing research. Let's oppose these types of things that take the lives of human beings directly. And for those of you working on other things, God bless you. If you think this is what you are supposed to do and you pass these various types of laws, well, that's fine. I'm not going to come out in opposition to you. All I'm saying is that support us as well in our efforts to end abortion and human killing research. And the personhood amendments, they're all around the country. Those want to stop abortion directly. by all means, let's do it. Let's end abortion and let's stop human killing research. Thank you for watching this video. And there are many more at YouTube.